Nirmala ji for her 7th consecutive submission of the budget. As a woman, I am extremely proud about her. Second thing, her budget is really good, particularly for middle class. She has given 12 lakh slab, because I grew up in a middle class, what it means, a big slab to the family. She has also done good work for the senior citizens and infrastructure development. I congratulate her for that. Sir, I have a small suggestion to her. And this is with my own experience I'm going to talk. We can teach children AI. How much time I have? Okay. You have to teach children AI, computer science, mathematics, etc. But you are not making our children a good citizen, a good character, value-based education. We are not able to do. The reasons are many. Number one is there is a nuclear family. There are no grandparents who can sit and talk about it or teach. Both husband and wife are working. They are in a city or the cramped schools. There are many reasons are there. And it is very difficult to bring up children without value system, because ultimately they do not become good citizens, even though they may be highly educated people. If you tell children you should have Satyam, Vada, Dharmam, Chara, all these things, they may not understand. It thinks it's one of those moral science class and run away. Once I was working in a village, in a school area, and many parents and particularly mothers came and told me, our children don't listen to us, they don't read, they are not interested in doing any other work. Is there any solution? I said, there is no quick solution in that, but let us experiment it. And we built one large, it's a government school, it had a good toilets, water facility, midday meal, all were there. So I told, let us build one big hall, air-conditioned hall, because it was a hot area, it's a warm area. We built one air-conditioned room, and there I told, kept some children book stories, and I called the volunteers and mothers along with the teachers, and I told them, look, children's mind is like a wet wall. If you teach them properly good values at this time, through stories, then it is possible to hold their attention, and they may learn by this. This is what we believe in it. And we gave them little material, and I visited them after 1 year. The things were so different after 1 year, because there are many mothers who would like to contribute in the afternoon time. There are some volunteers they would like to do. That gave them an opportunity, because children were attracted to the air-conditioned room in summer. They never went out. They came to the school, went to the hall, where they could do a lot of other indoor activities like chess, like stitching, dancing, and music, all these. Along with that, good value system, that is good story, books and storytelling. We come from a land where the Smriti and Shruti were both equally important. Smriti means we should remember. Shruti means we should hear. Many of our epics, many of our Vedas have been continued for years with the Smriti and Shruti. The story is not just telling a few lines. It is actually an advantage to children to imagine and increase their creativity. And it's a great communication from one person to another person. So the teachers and the volunteers, along with the mothers, they started telling good value-based stories, like simple stories like Kuchela and Krishna, the value of friendship. Arjuna and Ekagra Chitta, that is a value of concentration. Buddha and compassion. These are the great stories which are available. And these stories should be told to children at a right age, in a beautiful manner, so that they will learn all these things. And children did learn, and I could see there are a lot of paintings on the walls, and children started writing also their own stories. And by this I realized that if you want to attract children to school, you should have a big hall, and they can do indoor activities. And you should have teachers and volunteers who can tell stories. I'm sure Government of India with National Education Policy, NEP, they have revised new syllabus and with the stories. I have seen that, I really appreciate. But writing story is different. As an author, I know. Writing story is different. Telling story is entirely different. And this telling story tradition was there in our country before, and you have to inculcate with our teachers. When we give teachers training, we always say, okay, they should be BA, B.Ed, MA, M.Ed. But we will never emphasize on converting the difficult situation, difficult subject in the form of stories and convince them. And that is the reason I feel we should have storytelling sessions in the school compulsory, and we should also have teachers training inclusive of storytelling, and if possible we should have an institution to be built over a period of time, storytelling. India is always famous for stories. We have a great storytelling tradition with Katha Sarit Sagara. Katha Sarit Sagara tells thousands of stories, and we do not worry about that. We always go and see what is there in the Western country, tell that stories. No, because it is not correlating to our culture. I want to give a small example. 5,500 years back in Lothal, they found out an object. That object is a very small cup. On the cup there is a story without any words. A crow is sitting on a small bowl, and there is a stone in the crow's mouth. This story all of us know. When the crow was thirsty and there is a little water, it went on dropping a stone, and the water came up and it drank, it ran away. And this story is 5,500 years old. That means India had this tradition of passing great stories to the next generation. And we have Panchatantra by Vishnu Sharma's Panchatantra. What it tells, that when children did not study well, when the father was worried, he brought the children back to a teacher by the name Vishnu Sharma or Vishnu Datta, and he taught the entire politics of the kingdom or the rules of the life, everything in the form of a story. We should not neglect this great art of storytelling, and we should provide this one as part of the curriculum, and we should also tell teachers to tell in a proper way. For that we require a big hall, and may I request our finance minister that particularly primary education and in higher education, not higher education, in high school level, until that they require this new art introducing in their life, and Government of India should give little more funding to the building a room, a classroom with air condition or a fan depending on the situation. We have always a tradition of talking and conveying our feelings in many ways, which I have seen in the great August gathering here, that people talk, express. The expression comes through talking. Talking comes through stories. Stories also makes you to imagine than only seeing the digital media. When you see a digital media, your imagination is limited. Whereas when you do not see digital media and imagine, then imagine the sky is the top or the ceiling. There is no ceiling, you can go on imagining. That's the reason we say, when a shloka is told that, beautiful shloka, how is Vishnu, how is Krishna, Shantakaram, Bhujagashayanam, Padmanabham, Suresham, Vishwadharam, Gaganasadrisham, Meghavarnam, Shubhangam. And when you talk all these things, if you see a digital media, you can see a hero's features, but you can't imagine. But if you want to imagine, you have to read stories, you have to tell stories. Please do not mistake me because I'm an author of a children's story, I'm selling my book. It is not for that at all, my books are sold otherwise. But this creativity, I got it because I learned great stories in my childhood. I can imagine Lord Krishna or Vishnu or anybody of my choice closing my eyes, how he had a Shanta Chitta, he had a Neela Varna, he had the beautiful eyes, and he is Gagana Sadrisha, up to the top of the clouds. All this imagination I get, and this is only thanks to my elders who taught me stories, thanks to my teachers who inculcated the habit of storytelling, thanks to my readers who gave me the feedback, the best way to teach is through storytelling. Thank you, sir, giving me an opportunity to express my things. I want to ask the Madam Nirmala ji to release little more money for primary and high school level, that to build a beautiful library and again all the indoor games along with storytelling sessions. And a library is nothing but the house of learning and knowledge. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.